my interest in ropes and knots is in my private life, but perhaps that's a subject for a more broad-minded audience. I'm only joking, of course. Ropes and consequently knots are used by people across a number of environments. Whilst not so often used in the construction and agricultural industries these days for lifting materials and securing animals, they're of course used for erecting marquees at outdoor events. Ropes and knots are however used extensively in sports such as climbing and sailing, and of course in the adult fetishes I was thinking of. There are literally hundreds of knots with different variations on a common theme. However, they can be loosely classified into some categories by common properties and usage. A bend knot is a knot for joining two separate ropes. A binding knot is one that secures objects by making multiple winds. An example is the reef knot, which I'll come to in a minute. A whipping knot is a knot that prevents another line from fraying. Does everyone know what fraying is? Fraying is when the separate strands within a knot become worn and start to split away. Can anyone tell me what this knot is?
Reef knot.
Well done. It's a reef knot. A reef knot, or square knot, is an ancient and simple binding knot used for securing a rope or line around an object. We commonly use it for tying up packages, but sailors use it for furling sails. If a bight or loop is used for the second part of the knot, it becomes a shoestring knot, which is a slip knot, making it easy to untie. Although the reef knot is often seen used for tying two ropes together, it's not recommended for this purpose due to potential instability in the knot. The sheep end is a bend, that is a knot that should be used for securing two ropes together. Doubled, it's effective in binding lines of different diameter or rigidity securely together. It's very fast to tie, but has a tendency in its single form to come apart when not under load. A bowline is a loop knot. It has the virtues of being both easy to tie and untie. Whilst generally considered a reliable knot, its main deficiencies are a tendency to work loose when not under load, or for the bight portion of the knot to capsize in certain circumstances. To address these shortcomings, a number of more secure variations of the bowline have been developed for use in safety critical applications. The bowline is well known as a rescue knot for such purposes as rescuing people who might have fallen down a hole. They put it over themselves and sit on the loop whilst they're hauled out. I hope my very brief presentation has given you some insight into the wide variety of knots and their uses. If I may, I'll finish on a story. Two pieces of rope were wandering in the desert. They were very hot and thirsty. They came across a bar and went in. One of the ropes went in. He asked for a drink, and the bartender said, "Read the sign, buddy. We don't serve ropes." "Oh, come on, just this once," pleaded the rope. But the bartender said no, so the rope left. The second rope listened to his mate and thought for a moment. He then rolled himself into a knot and fluffed up the edges so that they were a little frayed. Second rope went into the bar like this and asked for a drink. The bartender said, "Hey, are you a rope?" The second rope looked down at himself and replied, "No, I'm sorry, I'm afraid not." Thank you for listening.